As riots in Britain continue for a fourth night in a row, the Swedish authorities are coming under pressure. John Stoll is joining us from Stockholm. John, I gather the residents are now starting to step in.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially what the strategy is right now. Is that these Stockholm is divvied up in multiple boroughs, north, south, east, and west, and it seems kind of like a game to figure out where these riots are going to take place any given night. And so the government's called on community organizations, concerned citizens, neighbors, step up, try to police help police their territory and neighborhoods so that people don't feel like they just have license to go, setting cars on fire, setting places on fire. And then, one of the strategies that has seemingly emerged, and we aren't involved in the violence, so we don't know exactly what's going on in the mind of these rioters, but one of the strategies that seems to have emerged is to actually light something on fire so that authorities come and then they can pelt them with rocks. And we're very grateful that people are not getting killed, or we haven't had widespread reports of injury, but it is a rather strange situation for a place like Stockholm.
But John, isn't the government doing something more concrete to stop it? I mean, what is the Prime Minister doing?
Well, I mean, from a police and public safety standpoint, you definitely can feel the presence of stepped up riot, sort of geared police. There was a big soccer tournament in town last night, and they deployed many of the folks that had come in from the west of Sweden over to help mitigate any problems. On a higher level, the Prime Minister, Fredrik Reinfeldt, was in Parliament today answering questions, and it was about a broad array of issues, but as you can imagine, most of the members were squarely concerned about this issue, pressed him on it, and wanted to know specific things. The biggest thing I think that people are scratching their heads over is how much does this have to do with immigration? Where this all began in Husby, it is a largely immigrant population, a variety of different nationalities, and so members of my parliament said, "What are we doing about that specific issue?" Reinfeldt's argument back is that he doesn't believe this is driven by ethnic differences or racial divide, but that it is a few bad apples corrupting the entire batch.
I was just going to ask, actually, John. I mean, is it any clearer why they're actually rioting? Is this just disaffected youth going out and being vandals?
Yeah, I think at first there was a genuine connection between what has been a very unfortunate incident, a shooting of a 69-year-old man who allegedly was walking around his streets with a large knife, brandishing that knife, and had an altercation with police and was shot and killed. And that did reawaken and re-inspire what are very legitimate concerns in one of the poorer boroughs of Stockholm about a disparity between income and social services, and in many cases it's seen as potentially being against folks that are immigrants. As you know, the cost of living here in Stockholm continues to go up, and social benefits haven't necessarily kept pace, so it's harder to afford that. And on top of that, there are accusations that the police can act with impunity, in particular when it's not a Swede or somebody who's well-to-do. So all of that is the underlying narrative in which we walked this week and the riots began. But the riots did begin about a week after this actual shooting, so it's hard to put a direct connection there.
John?
And it feels like as media attention has been ramped up, so have the riots, and there could be just a very much of a summertime lull and things to do, and a lot of unemployed or just fun-loving people.
We've certainly seen that elsewhere before. John, thank you very much.